Right. The past few days or so, maybe week, has been cold. Like, cold. I'm grateful that right now, last I checked, it was about 2 degrees. Like, you can't see my breath, which is nice. And I don't have the heating on. I just had a wee tea. I'd usually have a coffee, but then I couldn't be arsed grinding all the beans and stuff. But it has been a challenge, this cold weather, like really cold. I'm quite chuffed to see that the weather says that mercilessly over the next couple of days actually going to soar it. There was even a vicious rumour circling that on Saturday, maybe Sunday, it could even reach 12. I'm like, that's what we in Scotland say taps off weather. That's going to be unbelievable. Although it happens to be raining. Cheers, Scotland. But no, I'll be honest, like, this past month has been so hectic. Like, I spent 2 weeks working in Ireland, and it was like the long drive down there. And when you're working away, I'm not properly sort of relaxed. We were staying in a hotel, which is all nice and stuff, and the staff, I've been there so many times, the staff know us. But you get back from work, you go into the hotel, you'll have like a shower. You don't really have time to relax because your colleague's like, right, cool, what time for dinner? And we're like, oh, I don't know, 6:30, 7:00, whatever. So then you've had your shower, you sort of dried off, get changed, come down, have your meal, and it's almost inevitably pints. Sometimes we're quite responsible. Sometimes, like, we'll be like 10:30, we're done, and then go up and sort of chill. But there's also nights where you're definitely not responsible. One of the nights I'm sure we were up till whatever time in the morning, and it was crazy. I'm sure that happened 3 times. And that's all it takes at my age. Like 3 wild fucking nights like that, and it can take a while to recover. But anyway, that's quite a tiring experience. And then driving back up the hill. I say back up the hill, driving up through Ireland, sailing across to Scotland, and then back up to where I sort of reside usually. And I had like a couple of days, because we were at work, and then I took my boys to Morocco, which was fantastic. And it was great. Really, really hot, lovely. It was quite intense, I mean, but the last couple of days were great because we just sort of chilled on the beach, but I was like just sweating buckets, so I just had to go into the water. Got absolutely fucking battered by the waves. I think they were like 6-foot waves, probably more than that, because when I was standing there and it was like below my knees, I was like checking over to my youngest, who's like 16. He'd been swept away, and I was like, you alright? And I turned around and I was like, oh bollocks, and a big wave absolutely fucking clattered me, and I was pretty much deaf in my left ear for about 2 days. But we got back from that really late. We got picked up by my folks actually, and then they brought us sort of back to the farm, and it was 2-3 in the morning, something like that. So you're kind of tired from all that, and then the next day, my boys left. They went back to their mum's bit, and then I stayed at the farm to get all my shit sorted for going to Switzerland, that big drive to Switzerland. And I stayed up late than I should have done, drinking beers with my dad, talking about music. And then I had a 3-hour drive to Newcastle, which was, it was alright, but you were still just a bit tired. And you arrive in the ferry and you're like, cool. And then went around, had a nice meal, had a couple of beers, maybe in my bed for like 11:30. But woke up at 4 because like the air conditioning in the room had dried my mouth out. So I went wandering about the boat at 4, found someone, got some water, but basically didn't get back to sleep. And then the next day later that morning when we disembarked at 10. I say we, fucking me, because I was on my own. Disembarked at 10, and what ensued was basically 15 hours of a journey through like Netherlands, Belgium, France, Germany, and then into Switzerland. And on that journey, I didn't really take a lot of breaks. I was just trying to get through it, so I didn't drink enough liquid then. The only liquid I drank the night before was beer on the ferry. The night before that, the only liquid I drank was fucking beer with my dad. And it reminded me that, I don't know how many years ago, it was quite a long time ago, but one of my old bands, we used to go on tour around Europe maybe once a year or something. And there was one tour in particular. It was 3 weeks long. And one of the guys in the band, I remember we were on our last date in sort of mainland Europe, in Belgium. And he was like, he said that he was cranky and he was in a mood. I mean, I was just kind of like relatively unaware. But he went for a kip in the back of the van, like the tour van. And he said he had a good few hours because we'd played a gig, or we'd done our set at like 12 in the afternoon, and he just said, fuck it, I'm done. Because I mean, 3 weeks on tour, it's literally every day. And as you can imagine, every night you're just drinking beer. And it's late nights, and then you're just up, and then you're travelling, and then you're rocking out. But anyway, he slept in the back of the van for at least an hour, maybe 2 hours. And he said he got up and then he drank like 2 litres of water. I remember him saying to me, and this always stuck with me, he was like, I feel amazing. I feel amazing. I was like, that's clearly what was wrong with me. I just needed a rest and I needed some water. And the last wee while, I've just been perpetually tired. And I always remember those words, Colin's wise words, whether he knew they were wise or not. And here I am, like, blah years later, must be at least 20 years ago. Must be. I'm sure that tour was like 2010. Maybe it's 15 years ago. Let's just say 15 years ago. And I still can't bring myself that when I'm tired, sometimes I'll finish work and I'll be like 4:30, 5, and I get back and I'm like, oh, I feel like I could just fall asleep. And I fight it because I think, oh, don't fall asleep now. Like, I don't want to nap, it'll ruin my sleep later. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what experience have you got that you're gonna sleep at a reasonable time later? And then you fight it. And then I should go to bed at a reasonable hour, like 9 or something like that, and get a good lie and just drink plenty of water and try and rehydrate. And it's seldom in my life that I'm that sensible. I did go through a phase where I was actually really good at the water bit. Sleeping bit's always been a problem. But see, when I get that little magical combination of being well rested and like well hydrated, it is remarkable. So I'm going to make a consummate effort to try. I'm going to try and drink a lot more water, and I'm going to try and sleep more. And annoyingly, like, this is Friday, right? And annoyingly, I have to work the whole weekend, and I cannot be arsed. I'm so tired. I want to basically fall asleep now. Despite it being really dark, it's not a reasonable hour to fall asleep. It's like 5. But yeah, this is just like a sort of general stupid update. See, here in the van, this is totally unrelated. I bought these ages ago. Spaghetti rings. These are Co-op spaghetti rings, not Heinz. I just saw them in the shop, and I don't know why the hell I got them, because honestly, I've not had them since I was a kid. I was like, I'm going to get those. I'm going to treat myself. I don't even call it a treat. But I'm going to get them. And because I have like little spices and sauces. And I was like, oh, I might just have some wee spaghetti rings. I've got jalapenos, got a little bit of salsa. I might try a little jazzy one bowl spaghetti ring fucking thing. Maybe if I actually have any energy or any creative flair, I can come up with some daft fucking cooking video of me making spaghetti rings a la Insanity. Anyway, that's just a wee update that nobody asked for.